Hello, today we are going to make a boot chain using the items that I purchased from Wish. Now this is for one chain, so if you want to make two, you're going to need double this. The chain that I got from them, I have cut 9 pieces of 1 inch and 9 pieces at 1.5 inches. We're going to use these little tiny 4mm jump rings, and we need 18 of these. 1 of the pendants, 9 of the crystal 6mm rondelles, and then we also need 22 gauge wire, and I have cut mine at 2.5 inches, and there are 9 of these, and 4 larger jump rings, a pair of round nose pliers, a couple of chain nose, and a wire cutter. Okay, let's begin with a wrapped loop. And right now, we're just using the 1 inch chain. We are not using the 1.5 yet. So let's begin our loop, and as always, if you want your loops to be exactly the same, just put a mark on your round nose or use bail making pliers. So I'm going to open this loop up and place one of my chains, and I think I'm going to hold it with my round nose. Don't have a lot of room to work with here. Now let's just complete our loop, or the wrap for our loop. Now you wrap this as many or as few times as you want. I'm going to wrap mine 30 times for no other reason than that's what I want to do. Okay, now let's cut this excess. Okay. There's our wrapped loop. Let's place on one of our little rondelles. And we're going to make a wrap loop again, but in a lot of projects we make our loops in the opposite direction. But for this project it's important that they go in the same direction. So I'm going to place my pliers right down on top of that bead and begin my loop. Open that up and place on a chain. And let's just finish this loop. This time we're just going to wrap until we get down to the bead. And let's cut this oops. Okay, stuff is flying everywhere. Come on, bead. Let's cut this excess as close to our work as we can. And we have 2 loops in the same direction. And now we're just going to squeeze down our cut ends, bury them down into that wrap to get rid of any sharp edges. I totally would if I could find it. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're going to do all the way across now until we use up all of our beads. So let's just make another wrapped loop. And this time we're going to place it on this chain. go ahead and finish our wrap. Trim off our excess. Add a crystal. Make a wrap loop. Add a chain. And we're going to do that all the way across. And when we get to our last crystal, when we go to add the chain, it's going to be on this end so that we create a circle. I'll come back when I get there. Okay, I have worked my way across, and this is my last crystal. I'm going to connect this chain into this loop. Now this will give me a complete circle, and the reason for this is that I'm making it for a specific boot, and I can fit this over the top of the boot. If you're going to make these to sell, or you don't know exactly what the diameter is, I would consider putting a clasp on here and even an extender so that it could work for quite a few different size boots. Let's just go ahead and finish this last loop. Okay, cut off the excess, squish in your ends, and we'll move on. Okay, now we're going to work with our 1.5 inch lengths of chain and our little tiny 4mm jump rings. Now each one of our crystals has a loop on the left and a loop on the right. What we're going to do is we're going to attach our chain to the right loop of this bead and then the left loop of this bead. It doesn't matter where you start, it's all going to be the same in the end. So let's just open one of these little jump rings. And I'm going to place it on the right side of this crystal, moving that chain out of my way. And now let's add one of these little 1.5 inch chains and close that up. Okay. Now let's get another jump ring. Open it up. Now I'm going to put the chain on this jump ring. And make sure that I am definitely working on the bottom of this loop. And then I'm going to attach it to the left side of the next crystal. And just close it up. So this is what we have. So the next chain will go on the right side of this crystal and the left side of this crystal. And then repeat and do that all the way around until you have these little hanging chains all the way around. Okay, I have made my way all the way around. And now, if you get the same pendants that I did, they have this pinch bail on them, and I don't want it on here. So we should be able to open this bail. Yep, there we go. Quite simple and easy. Now just pick a spot anywhere. It doesn't matter where. And with our larger jump rings, I'm going to use the wire cutter. I'm going to put it right here on this loop, the left loop, and then simply close the jump ring. Okay, let's get another jump ring. And working on the opposite side of this same crystal, I'm going to place this jump ring. And close it up. Okay, another jump ring. Open that up, and we're just going to connect these two jump rings that we already have on here. So through one jump ring, and then through the other. And close that ring up. And now with our last jump ring, put this on our pendant. And onto that jump ring we just put on. That one needs to be closed a little bit more. It's actually quite wide open, isn't it? Okay, here we go. And now let's just go ahead and put our pendant on. I think that jump ring still needs some work. Alright, and we are complete with our boot chain. Now, if you watched my wish video, you know that I don't have two of these pendants the same. So I just picked another one. I mean, who says they gotta be exactly the same, right? So I just picked another one for my other boot chain. Now I'm going to take a picture of this on my boots, but normally you would hang these on the outside of your boot. I'm going to have to take the pictures with these on the inside of my boot because the outside's got a couple of zippers and a buckle and decorative stuff on it, and it makes it hard to see what we have. Okay, so there's that version, and let's make another one. To make a slightly different variation of the boot chain that we just made, we will need that basic chain made exactly like the first one. Then we will need chain cut into 2-inch pieces, and we need 18 of these. We need right around 45 jump rings and 9 charms. Now that's only if you do want to put charms all the way around. You certainly don't have to. And all of your charms do not have to be the same. I just happen to have all these dolphins. And we need a couple of chain nose pliers. And with this boot chain, we're also going to be working with the loops on our crystals. Now this time we're going to connect the left loop of this bead to the left loop of the next bead, and the right loop to the right loop. Let's go ahead and begin. It doesn't matter where you start, just pick up a crystal. Insert that jump ring and chain. And close that up. Okay, let's pick up another jump ring. And let's attach that to the bottom of the chain that we just placed. Now, the reason why it's important that we pay attention to what direction we're going, if you look at it this way, it's connected to the right side of the crystal. However, I know that I placed it in the left. So I need to turn this around, make sure that this jump ring is coming from the bottom of that loop, and then connect it to the left loop of the next crystal. And it might seem kind of confusing, but once you start doing it, it'll all make sense and be much easier than I'm making it look right now. And close that up. So let's get another jump ring. Going back to my first crystal, making sure that everything is facing in the proper direction. I'm going to go ahead and connect to the right side of that crystal and slide on a chain. Close this up and get another jump ring. And now it's time to connect to the right side of the last crystal. Okay, close that up. So this is what we have so far. Okay, now we're going to move to this crystal, and we're going to connect the left side of this crystal, which will put 2 jump rings in that loop. Bring it over and connect to the left side of this one. Then connect to the right side and the right side. And that's all we do all the way around. So I'll do another here. Now it's important to make sure that when you connect this next jump ring, that you don't accidentally connect the 2 jump rings to each other. They need to be in this loop only. Okay? I almost forgot to place a chain. That wouldn't have been good. Close that up. Get another jump ring. Place that on the chain we just connected. Goodness. My pliers are in the way. That happens to me a lot. So go ahead and connect to this chain. making sure that everything is in its correct place, and connect to the left loop of the next crystal. So that's all there is to it. It's very simple, very easy. I just managed to somehow make it look difficult. So now we just connected the left side of this crystal to the left side of this one. Now we're going to connect the right side of this one to the right side of this one. Left to left, right to right, and just do that all the way around. Okay, I have made my way around. So now I'm just going to grab a jump ring. And place it on one of my charms. And right here in this chain that goes between the crystals, I'm just going to attach my charm. Now, you don't have to have charms if you don't want to. Well, my goodness, that charm didn't want to be a part of the situation, did it? I mean, you can leave it like it is without charms if you'd like. But what I'm going to do is put a charm on each space between my crystals. Again, this is not difficult. It's just my day to make everything look hard for some reason. Okay. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I'll come back. Okay, so here are our two different styles of boot chain using Wish jewelry supplies. And I am aware that just this looks like a bunch of jumbled up chain going on here, so I definitely will take pictures. So I hope you enjoyed these, and thank you so much for watching.